Welcome to Happily Ever AI, where we work on romance novels using AI. So today I thought I would play around with DeepSeek. If you've been paying attention to the news at all, then you would see that DeepSeek is the new fun tool on the market. So I thought it would be fun to brainstorm a monster romance novella using DeepSeek. And I don't know how far we'll get. I do know there's some issues with running into like message limits and stuff, but I just thought we could take it for a spin and see what DeepSeek does. So let's start with a premise. We're going to ask it. You can see here we're using DeepThink, which is their R1 reasoning model. That's their latest model. So we're going to say, hi, I'm a monster romance author, and I want to start a new novella. I want this book to be unputdownable with tropes that are delicious to monster romance readers. I want this book to have viral potential for booktok. Can you suggest me some premise ideas that meet these needs? Here, I'm going to put story premise. And let's let it think. So this is what it says. Absolutely, monster romance is having a moment on booktok, and readers are craving fresh, addictive stories with unique twists on beloved tropes. Here are some high-concept, viral-worthy premises that could make your novella unputdownable. 1. The monster in my closet is my soulmate. Premise: a shy, bookish woman discovers that the growling, shadowy creature living in her closet isn't there to scare her, it's her fated mate, bound to protect her from a dark curse. But the closer they get, the more human he becomes, and she starts to wonder, does she want him to stay a monster forever? Tropes: fated mates, forced proximity, who hurt you vibes, slow burn transformation. Viral hook: I fell in love with the monster in my closet, and now I don't want him to leave. Okay, I kind of love that actually right off the bat. So right off the bat, this is giving just right away that was a great, like it knew what I meant and it delivered. Let's see what else we got. The Kraken's Bride. Premise: a lighthouse keeper on a remote island accidentally summons well, there's a little issue there, but an ancient kraken while trying to break a centuries-old curse. The kraken claims her as his bride, but she is determined to resist his tentacled advances until she realizes he's the only one who can save her from the real danger lurking in the waves. Tropes: enemies to lovers, possessive monster, touch her and die, underwater world building. I don't know if underwater world building is a trope, but viral hook: he's a kraken, he's my husband, and he's territorial. All right, number 3. I don't love the Kraken's Bride so much. But number 3, The Demon's Deal. A premise: a struggling artist makes a deal with a demon to save her dying sister, but the price is her soul and her hand in marriage. The demon is cold, ruthless, and utterly terrifying until she starts to see the cracks in his armor and the loneliness in his glowing eyes. Tropes: marriage of convenience, grumpy sunshine, touch her and perish, redemption arc. Viral hook: I sold my soul to a demon and now he's my husband. I don't know. Is demon romance monster romance? That sort of feels paranormal to me more than monster. Let's see what's next. The Wolf in the Woods. Premise: a woman fleeing an abusive relationship stumbles into a cursed forest where she's hunted by a monstrous wolf. But when the wolf saves her from a pack of even darker creatures, she realizes he's not just a beast, he's a curse shifter who's been waiting centuries for her to break his spell. Tropes: Beauty and the Beast vibes, protective monster, hurt comfort, and fated mates. Viral hook: I ran into the woods to escape my past and found my future in the jaws of a monster. That one is interesting. Again, I don't know if that's monster romance, so much as like almost a fairy tale retelling and shifter romance. Like, so I don't know if that really falls into monster romance. The Alien's Pet. All right, if this is aliens, then that's going to be sci-fi romance. So really the only two so far that I feel like have really been monster romance is these first two. The demon and the wolf, both I don't feel like are monster. Here we go into vampire. That again is not monster. Dragon, that's fantasy. Again, I don't know if that's monster. The Mothman and a gargoyle and an orc, those are definitely monster romance, but it did miss the mark on a bunch of these. So I'm actually going to go ahead and skip over the alien, the vampire, and the dragon because dragon maybe is monster romance, but I'm gonna not. It says priceless artifact, and AI loves to use artifact in their things, and so I just generally avoid that. All right, so we have the Mothman's mate. A cryptid researcher travels to a small town to investigate sightings of the Mothman, only to discover that the creature is real and he's been watching her for years. When a mysterious danger threatens the town, the Mothman reveals himself to her, claiming she's his fated mate and the only one who can help him break an ancient curse. Tropes, fated mates, protective monster, hurt comfort, small town secrets, viral hook. I went looking for the Mothman and found my soulmate instead. All right, not bad, not bad. I still think my favorite is so far is the monster in the closet. The Gargoyle's Kiss. Premise: a woman inherits a crumbling Gothic mansion only to discover that the gargoyle on the roof comes to life at night. He's cursed to protect the house and her from a dark force that's been hunting her family for generations. But the closer they get, the more she starts to wonder if she's falling for the monster or the man trapped inside. Oh, dang. Okay. Tropes: Beauty and the Beast vibes, forbidden love, touch her and die, slow burn romance. Viral hook. I don't know if we could do a slow burn on a novella, so this might be better for like a full novel. Viral hook. I inherited a mansion and the gargoyle who's sworn to protect me. Oh, dang. I don't know if I like. Okay, I feel like Gargoyle's Kiss could be like a full length novel for sure. The monster in my closet is my soulmate. That could be a novella, but maybe a full length. All right, lastly, the Orc's Bride. In a world where humans and orcs are at war, a human woman is captured by an orc warlord who claims she's his fated mate. At first, she's determined to escape, but as she learns more about his culture and the war that's tearing their world apart, she starts to see the man behind the monster and the love that could save them both. Tropes: enemies to lovers, fated mates, touch her and die, forbidden love. Viral hook. I was captured by an orc, and now he says I'm his fated mate. Okay, tips for viral potential, it says. Lean into the tropes. BookTok loves tropes like fated mates, enemies to lovers, and touch her and die. Make them central to your story. Unique twists. Put a fresh spin on familiar ideas to make your story stand out. Emotional stakes. Readers want to feel all the feels: angst, longing, and a satisfying HEA. Sizzling chemistry. Even if your monster is terrifying, the romance should be irresistible. All right, so I think my favorites of these is this one, The Monster in My Closet is My Soulmate. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that out and put it in a Word doc. Okay, so I've pasted it into this doc, and I'm going to go ahead and grab that other one that I liked, the Gargoyle. The orc one might not be bad, but the thing is I've never actually read orc romance, and I think that's while it is monster romance, I feel like it's a whole different subgenre. Like you can have sports romance and you can have hockey romance as a subgenre, and there are very specific expectations from the readers on what is going to be in a hockey romance versus just a normal sports romance. And I feel like orc romance is the same way. So monster romance itself is like the overarching, you know, genre or subgenre, but then the orc romance is going to have very specific things that readers will expect, and I don't feel comfortable in what those are. I don't feel comfortable enough to go ahead and like take that any further. So I've got both of those concepts. I do want to ask it one more thing. I love a couple of those concepts, but I was wondering, I am wondering if you can give me some premise ideas with the same parameters I gave you above, but with entirely unique takes on the monsters themselves. Please keep in mind that wolves, vampires, and demons are all considered paranormal romance, which is a different subgenre than monster romance. Just in case, I just want to give it a little, but I want unique monsters, not just like the Mothman or the Kraken. I want to see what it will give me. Got it. Let's dive into some truly unique monster concepts that push the boundaries of the monster romance subgenre while keeping the tropes delicious and the premise unputdownable. These ideas are designed to stand out in the monster romance space and have serious book talk viral potential. Here we go. The Living Storm. A woman living in a coastal town plagued by eternal storms discovers that the Tempest is alive, a sentient elemental force that's been watching her for years. When a corporate developer threatens to destroy her home, the storm takes human form to protect her, revealing a deep otherworldly connection between them. The monster, a sentient storm with a humanoid form made of lightning and rain. Oh my. I wonder how that would go. Tropes, forbidden love, protective monster, touch her and perish, elemental magic. Viral hook, I fell in love with a storm that's been haunting my town and now it's human. That is not a good viral hook. But I get its point. Okay, that is actually really interesting and super unique. Sometimes uniqueness in romance novels is not a good thing. Sometimes it's a little out there and people are like, what is this? But it is interesting. The bioluminescent beast, a marine biologist studying deep sea creatures, accidentally summons a bioluminescent monster from the abyss. The creature is both terrifying and mesmerizing, with glowing tendrils and a voice that echoes in her mind. As they bond, she realizes he's not just a monster, he's the last of his kind, and he's chosen her to help him survive. Survive and propagate his species, perhaps? All right, monster, a deep sea creature with bioluminescent skin, tentacles, and a hauntingly beautiful voice. Tropes, fated mates, hurt comfort, forbidden love, underwater world building. Viral hook, I summoned a monster from the deep, and now he's my soulmate. All right. It doesn't have soulmates or, oh, it does have fated mates. Okay. So that one's interesting. I don't hate it. I do think it's interesting as well. So I like, the one thing I do like is it's giving us some very like, these are definitely unique. You know what I mean? Number 3, the Clockwork Colossus. Premise: in a steampunk city ruled by machines, a mechanic discovers a sentient ancient clockwork colossus beneath buried beneath the streets. I already hate this, by the way. I'm not a fan of steampunk things. And a clockwork colossus, like I'm gonna skip it. I don't like it. Yeah, that's just not my thing. Okay, let's see. The Living Forest Sprite. Also, wouldn't his like clock spokes be ouchy if you touch him? All right. The Living Forest Bride. A woman fleeing an arranged marriage stumbles into a sentient forest that's alive with magic and danger. The forest itself claims her as its bride, manifesting as a humanoid figure made of bark, moss, and glowing green eyes. But as she falls for her monstrous protector, she realizes the forest is dying and only she can save it. Monster, a humanoid manifestation of a sentient forest with bark-like skin and glowing green eyes. All I can picture is the Ents from Lord of the Rings. That's that's like all I could see, like a muscular Ent with abs and flowing hair. Okay, and tattoos maybe. Uh, no. All right. I mean, I kind of like the concept, and I think that if we could do something different where he's not like a tree instead, like the bark and moss, but maybe if he was like some sort of, I don't even know, but not that, it could be better. So with some work, like we could take this concept. I do like the forest claiming her as its bride. Like, why? I have questions. And but I think that premise could actually be interesting if there was some tweaking done. Like I can't with the end thing. Uh, so let's continue. So far, the first two, the Living Storm and the Bioluminescent Beast, those two are definitely interesting. I'm going to grab those and pop them into that document that I made. So I've popped those in here. Now we have the 4 premises, and I'm going to go back and see the rest. So number 5 is the Glass Phoenix. A glass blower in a cursed town accidentally creates a phoenix made entirely of glass. How do you accidentally create a phoenix made entirely of glass? Like that feels already weird. When the creature comes to life, like the way that this says it, when the creature comes to life, as if it was a given that it was going to come to life, it reveals it's bound to her soul, and it's not just a phoenix, but a ancient. It doesn't like to use an, I've noticed in here with DeepSeek. So I have not really played with DeepSeek. I should just put that. I played with it like for probably 10 minutes yesterday, maybe, and really didn't do much with it. So I'm discovering it here with you. And I don't like, this is something if you use it, it looks like this is something you'll have to watch out for. And I'm going to have to watch out for that that's messing up some grammar things. that would be an issue if you put this into like your manuscript. If you were using DeepSeek to help you actually write the prose, that would not be okay. An ancient shape-shifting monster with a tragic past. As they grow closer, she must decide if she's willing to break the curse that binds them together. Monster, a glass phoenix that can shift into a humanoid form with crystalline skin and fiery wings. Uh, no. And if you've noticed, a lot of these viral hooks are like the same, but just like different things. I created a glass phoenix and now it says it's soulmate. Like, and now he says I'm his destiny. And now he's my soulmate. And now it's human. Like it uses like the same viral hook. I would not just use this. This is not on any of them. It's really not good. Okay, number 6, the Shadow Stalker. Ooh, I love a good shadow. Premise: a woman starts seeing a shadowy figure in the corners of her vision, always watching but never speaking. When she's attacked by a supernatural force, the shadow comes to life, revealing itself as a monstrous protector bound to her bloodline. But the closer they get, the more she realizes the shadow has a dark secret and a heart that beats only for her. Oh. Monster: a living shadow with glowing eyes and a humanoid form that can solidify at will. Ah, that's important. Okay. Tropes: protective monster, touch her and die, forbidden love, dark secrets, viral hook, my shadow came to life and now it won't leave me alone. All right, I'm taking the viral hook out when I copy this, but I actually like this one just because I'm a sucker for a good shadow. All right, so we have 10 and we are on number 7. The Coral King, a diver exploring a coral reef, accidentally cuts herself, and her blood awakens an ancient coral monster who claims her as his queen. The creature is both beautiful and terrifying, with a body made of living coral. Ow, wouldn't that hurt? Isn't coral like sharp? And a voice that echoes like the ocean. As they bond, she learns that her bloodline is tied to his curse, and their love could either break it or make it eternal. Now, okay, I actually like this. Ugh, I hate this viral hook thing, but okay, I like this Coral King. I'm actually pretty intrigued. I feel like him having coral skin would make for an odd pairing in terms of just being able to like touch this person who you're like mated to. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to see if coral is something that's like normally sharp or if it's when it's like actually alive, is it softer? Maybe it's softer. So 3 more to go. No, yeah, 3 more to go. The obsidian golem. An archaeologist discovers an ancient obsidian golem buried in a forgotten temple. When she accidentally awakens him, he claims she's the reincarnation of his lost love, and he'll do anything to protect her from the dark forces that want to destroy them both. Interesting, but I don't know. A towering golem made of black obsidian with glowing runes etched into his body. Oh, I'm intrigued by that. Reincarnation, protective monster, touch her and die, forbidden love. Hmm. I mean, it is intriguing, but yeah, I'm just not feeling like connected to that story premise, but I do actually quite like the premise. The living glacier. Oh man. A climate scientist studying a melting glacier discovers that the ice is alive, a sentient ancient being that's been sleeping for millennia. When the glacier takes human form to protect her from a corporate conspiracy, she starts to fall for the icy, otherworldly creature who's both terrifying and heartbreakingly lonely. Monster, a humanoid being made of living ice with crystalline skin and a voice like cracking glaciers. Hmm. Oh my gosh, this viral hook. I fell in love with a living glacier and now he's melting for me. Actually, that one I really don't hate of all of them. Okay, last one, the Starfall Beast. Premise: a woman witnesses a meteor crash near her home and discovers a strange celestial creature in the crater. The beast is made of stardust and shadows with a voice that hums like the cosmos. As they bond, she learns he's been exiled from his world and she's the only one who can help him return. Monster: a celestial being made of stardust and shadows with glowing constellations across his body. Tropes: fated mates, hurt, comfort, forbidden love, cosmic romance. I like this, actually. I don't really know. Like, there's a few issues with this premise in terms of, like, if he wants to return home, what would happen to their love and their happily ever after? But also, what, like, can he return home? Because it says he's exiled. So, right? Exiled, yeah. So now let's see, we had 20 premises that it basically gave us. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So of those 20, seven of them I think are good enough to explore further. We have the monster in my closet is my soulmate, the gargoyle's kiss, the living storm, the bioluminescent beast, the shadow stalker, the coral king, and the starfall beast. What I'm thinking about doing is taking one of these and working on it in a video from start to finish. Of those seven premises, which one would you want to see me do from start to finish? I'm going to use DeepSeek so that we can get a feel for it. So let me know in the comments which one of these premises, of these seven premises, you want to see me do in the next video, and we will go from there. In the meantime, give this video a like. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on the next video in developing one of these stories. And until next time, happy writing. Bye.